If someone had told me that downloading Tinder would lead to me drawing a man a bath and checking him for a hernia, I would have laughed. Weirdest date ever. That's all I can say. Not a first date, but still weird. He, 44 male, invited me, 31 female, to meet him at a coffee shop because we both had work we needed to do. After a few hours, we stand up to leave, and he mentions that he injured himself earlier in the day. Wouldn't you know? He can't stand up, and he can barely walk. Now, I'm not a petite woman. I'm 5'8". I work out. I can help. It's not like he's the mountain or anything, and he's built like a little jackrabbit. So I help him up and help him to his car, but he is struggling. I offered to make him dinner if he wanted to come over because I had been marinating some chicken anyway. He accepts, and we head back to my house. It's worth saying that I have a 3-floor townhouse with lots of steps. It's also worth saying that I have a tendency to be clumsy, and so I have all sorts of ace bandages, crutches, etc. in my house. I set him up on the couch, bring him water, a heating pad, a pillow to hold for sneezing and coughing, crutches to help. Him stand without using whatever was injured, and start cooking dinner. Eventually he chimes in with, "I promise I'm not just trying to show you my dick, but can you look at this? Wouldn't you know? There's a weird bump near his groin." So now, what was a pulled muscle might actually be a hernia. I offer to take him somewhere, but he refuses. Instead, he asks me to wrap in compression wrap around the bump. Eventually, I ask him if a warm bath would make him feel better, and he says that it might. Trouble is, he can't really go from sitting to standing all too well. So I draw him a bath and sit there the whole time. I jokingly throw in a colorful, sparkly bath bomb and bring him a glass of wine because of the sheer absurdity of the situation. I'm sitting here, bathing a grown man. One I met off Tinder. I felt his groin for a hernia. I compression wrapped said groin. This man has absolutely tested the limits of my domesticity, and I actually didn't mind. We've been seeing one another since December, and I'm kind of in love with him. He's already enriched my life, and I'm thankful for whatever time we have together. Edit. He got it checked out. The lump was from the swelling of a torn muscle. Still not good, but not as bad as a hernia.
Next story.
Don't think she realizes we've dated before. I've been on Hinge for 6 months and seen a couple of people, but nothing has happened for a while. This week I, male 28, noticed a girl I've dated before about 4 years ago, female 25, as new here, and thought, nah, she won't match me back. But lo and behold, she did, and we've really hit it off. We messaged for a couple of days before she sent me her number to message. We've been up late at night between work texting, and last night she even called me for an hour, and we had a good laugh. But I'm not sure if she realizes we dated before. She blocked me on Facebook and Instagram when we stopped seeing each other because we fell out. Our personalities didn't gel, and she hated the fact I went out every weekend. But we've bonded more in the last few days than we ever did before, and I only go for a quiet drink every now and again now. The other night she mentioned doing something on Facebook, but didn't ask me if I had Facebook myself, and sent me something off TikTok, which we had a laugh about. I know not everyone has social media these days, but a few days in you'd think she'd have had a bit of a stalk or asked around social media. She suggested we go on a date next Friday because that's the soonest date she's free around work, studies, and prearranged plans. So I'm wondering how and when do I drop the bomb we've dated before, but I've also got to keep her interest for another 8 days, although that seems the less concerning right now. I genuinely feel like we could work this time now we're both older and more mature, but I'm worried she'll spook, or maybe she does know but is also hesitant to bring it up. Edit. I also look and sound no different to how I did then, and have really distinctive brightly colored tattoos in my photos, which I had back then, so I don't know how she couldn't. Possibly no. Update. Thank you for everyone who took the time to contribute. We texted till late again, and before we went bed, I asked if I could call her but made a point. It wasn't because I planned on being clingy and making a habit of it. I came clean and she wasn't bothered at all, just said she thought she'd seen me in passing on a night out. I explained what went wrong, and we addressed why things should work out better this time, and she seemed to agree. She even joked, could this not have been something that could have been said over text, to make light of the situation, and then the quick phone call turned into an hour again.
Next story.
I'm gay and my wife doesn't know. My wife and I have been together 9 years, married for 7, but I know that I'm gay. I've never been attracted to another woman other than her, but I've been attracted to lots of men. I've never been in a sexual relationship with a man, but if I wasn't with my wife, I know I would be. My preferences when I'm by myself have only ever been over men, lol. But it's strange. My wife is my soulmate in the most absolute sense. It doesn't matter that she's a woman. I'm so in love with her mind and her heart and her as a human being that she could literally be in any body, and I would love and worship her. Even being with her sexually is incredible because it's her. I know this makes no sense, and that's why I can't tell her. She would think she isn't enough because she isn't a man. But she's the other half of my soul, and I could never ever hurt her or be without her. I think every inch of her body is beautiful, and she lights me up like no other human ever could. She completes me, and I know I won't need to be with anyone else, but I know no one will believe that. Is it possible to be gay except one woman? So that's what I am, lol.edit. I realize now. I'm probably on the bisexual spectrum somewhere instead, and I'm content with that. I don't really need a label. Oh, and to those calling me a pervert, a degenerate, a fetishist, etc. for being attracted to men, I suggest you try replacing the hate in your heart with love. It's worked out very well for me.
Next story.
My girlfriend, 24 female, just confessed to me, 26 male, that she's always faked orgasms. How can I support her better? Today, my girlfriend of 6 years came up to me and politely confessed something that shook me up quite a bit. She mentioned that she's never experienced an orgasm during penetrative sex, although clitoral stimulation does the trick for her. We've lived together for the entirety of our relationship and had a pretty active and open sex life, experimented and tried new things every now and then, and I believe that we've always been open and honest with communication in bed. She would always mention that she's close to orgasm during penetrative sex and finish with an appearance of satisfaction/relief. I think it hurt quite a bit when I found out that she had been lying about it and never quite felt comfortable sharing this with me because frankly the fact that she can't have orgasms during penetration is not even close to a deal breaker for me. I know that a lot of women experience clitoral orgasms more commonly than penetrative ones, and in hindsight, I would have been more attentive to what she enjoys and focused on that instead of what can't happen. What bothers me is that it took her 6 years to talk to me about this. I know that she's had a rough history with abusive relationships in the past and probably felt a lot of shame that prevented her from talking about it, but I feel like my trust in her has been affected quite a bit. We've also spoken about both of us getting individual therapy to work through some of our respective past experiences, but neither of us has ever taken the first step to actually getting help. I guess what I'm really looking for is advice on how to better support her and myself, plus process all of this because I don't feel prepared at all at the moment. Update: my partner and I had a long chat. I tried my best to reassure her that she's an absolute soldier for getting through the guilt and opening up, and I tried my best to make sure she felt safe and understood. She spoke to me about how she enjoys sex and gets clitoral orgasms, but a lot of her attention was on making sure she was following templates that she thought was the best for me, just because she felt like it was the best way to keep things working and happy. I clarified why I was hurt, and let her know that my intention was always to be more involved, collaborate, and have the most fun we possibly could together, reassured her that I've always been down for experimenting with toys and sensate foreplay. We were both quite emotional and teary-eyed through the entire chat. I could tell that this lie weighed pretty heavy on her, and I saw a sense of relief in my gal that I haven't for a while. I feel like I owe you guys for all of your support. Some of you even reached out on DMs and helped me understand where she was coming from. I never expected the Reddit community to be this wholesome when I posted, and I want to thank y'all for helping us take one giant leap towards honest and effective communication and a healthy and happy sex life.
Next story.
Today I fucked up by peeing my pants in front of my date. Embarrassing as heck, guys. I feel disgusting. A real, today I fucked up on all levels. I, 23 male, have liked this girl, 23 female, for around 3 years now. We are in the same university classes, and even during the pandemic when I barely saw her, I still was crushing on her. I asked her out last week and was over the moon when she agreed. Today we met up in a nearby restaurant, and that's where this all started. I have this condition called paruresis, shy bladder syndrome, where I just am not physically able to pee if other people are around in public bathrooms. Even if I really have to go, I just can't. So because of my nerves and because of how hot it is and the amount of water I stupidly drank, I ended up going to the bathroom several times, but of course couldn't pee. Then she told me that if I was not feeling okay, it would be totally fine to go home. I agreed and apologized to her. She ended up paying the bill. It's so sweet, but damn, I really have to pay her back. And we got out. It was somewhere in the parking lot where it happened. I just could not hold it back. I just stood there traumatized. I did not know this girl well enough, but I was prepared to get ridiculed. She first went, "Oh my God, are you okay?" Then started stroking my back and took off her jacket and put it around me. She told me it could happen to anyone, and I should come to her place, which was a 2-minute walk where I could shower. I did agree on it, because I felt like a disgusting mess. We went to her place, and well, actually, it turned out to be an amazing day. I showered, we watched some cartoons till my clothes were dry, talked about life and deep shit, and she got us ice cream. I know she was trying to make me feel better, and I love her for that, but still, I was dying inside. I left just an hour ago because she needs to work in the evening and night. I was at the door when she hugged me and said it was a good day and to repeat it again soon. This was embarrassing as heck, but for the first time in my life, I was not mocked or ridiculed. Even my parents would laugh at me. I feel like I hit the jackpot now, and it kind of feels surreal. She was so damn sweet and reacted this way, like, wow, how could she be this amazing? How could she like me? I bet she doesn't and just didn't want to make it worse for me today. That's probably it. Anyhow, that's how today I fucked up. Guess now I really have to step up my game to make things right with her. Update. Guys, a few minutes ago she texted me that she is at work and asked me how I'm doing. Then she says, for the next date, let's go somewhere in nature to a quiet place. Or whatever place is comfortable to you, and asked when I have time, and I am seriously shaking. This is the absolute best thing ever? Is this even really happening? There is some chance out there for her to be my girlfriend, and it's surreal final update. Our second date is set now, and I know for sure I won't ruin it. This girl is more than amazing, but so are you guys. Thanks a lot for all your kind, positive, and heartwarming comments. I'll make sure I show it to her. Can't believe this is happening and we are going out again. Thanks to all of you and have a very, very great day. Totally forgot to say, but some people asked, so I'll mention it here too. She knows about the paruresis I told her when I was at her place. She proceeded to look up more info about it and how it can be treated, and was super supportive. She's totally the best. Never give up. Someone will accept and love you for who you are.
That's all the stories for this video. If you enjoyed it, please hit that like button, subscribe, and share with your friends. I'm a bit shy and prefer to stay behind the scenes, so I create these faceless Reddit story videos to bring you the best stories without stepping in front of the camera. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.